Our next presentation will be Mitchell Airman, and he will be entertaining us with his public speaking on stalkers.
Are you being watched? Well, I am, and I know it. I am being stalked. Today I will talk about the kinds of stalkers, how to stalk, and some famous stalkers. First, we will talk about the kinds of stalkers. There are 3 kinds of stalkers: cyber stalkers, creepy stalkers, and stupid stalkers. Cyber stalkers will comment on everything you say, find out your phone number, and delete anything bad you say about them, according to cyber stalkologist Aaron Ross. Creepy stalkers, or traditional stalkers, will watch you when you sleep or through a window. Stupid stalkers will come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm stalking you." They will also scream and call the cops on themselves. Next, we will talk about how to stalk. First, you need a good hiding place. After that, you need to be able to watch somebody for a long period of time. Then you need a stalker alias. Common aliases are Brandy, JC, and Ronnie, all following the rule to end with an I. However, some stray from this rule, such as Hannah or Chase. Finally, we'll talk about some famous stalkers. Santa is stalker number 1. It even says so in his song. He knows when you are sleeping, he knows when you are awake. His sidekick, the Burger King guy, is almost just as good at stalking and is a great disguise artist. Today we have talked about stalkers. First we talked about the kinds of stalkers, then we talked about how to stalk. Finally, we talked about some famous stalkers. There is one last group of stalkers. Anybody who is watching this speech. If you weren't paying attention, you have passed the test and aren't a stalker. Congratulations.
Our next presenter will be Ronnie Hack, and she will be entertaining us with her poetry about sports.
Many people love sports. I do, so sports would be the theme of my program today. Sports could certainly make life more interesting if school were more like softball. If school were more like softball, we'd only have to play. We'd hang out in the sunshine and run around all day. We wouldn't have to study, we'd practice and we'd train. And best of all, we'd cancel whenever there was rain. Hitting a nail catches me is fun, most of the time. But the mitt doesn't catch us playing, and lousy catches me. I bought myself a catcher's mitt so I could catch a ball. But all I ever caught were things I didn't want at all. I caught a fish, I caught a cat. It's how I can't explain. I caught my brother telling lies. I even caught a train. I caught a show. I caught a cook. I caught the evening news. I caught my sister kissing boys, and then I caught a snooze. Come see my lousy catcher's mitt. I wonder to behold. I've never caught a single ball, and now I've caught a goal. Taking a shot with the game on the line could be scary, but the narrator just keeps her cool. Let's see how the game ends in swish. They were said to be the hardest team, more challenging than the rest. I could have sworn my stomach was tied in 100 knots, no less. Adrenaline roared in my ears, anxiety made me shake. The score was tied 4th quarter, 5 seconds left in the game. As the ref gave me the ball, I could hear them cheer behind me. I knew that it was up to me to win the basketball game. Then the stands went quiet, people on the court danced. I left the ball and let it fly, and all you hear is swish.
Next, we'll have Zachary Bridges doing his poetry about academic difficulties.
My teacher ate my homework, which I thought was rather odd. He sniffed at it and smiled with an approving sort of nod. He took a little nibble, it's unusual but true, and had a somewhat larger bite and gave a thoughtful chew. I think he must have liked it, for he really went to town. He gobbled it with gusto, and he wolfed the whole thing down. He licked off all his fingers, gave him a burp, and said, "You passed. I guess that's how they grade you when you're in cooking class." What I've learned at school. At school, I've learned a lot of things I really like to do, like running in the hallway and eating globs of glue. I've learned I'm good at making pencils dangle from my nose. I've learned to hum and pop my gum when practice says it shows. I've learned I like to cut in line and love to cut the cheese. I've learned to fake a burp or cough and even fake a sneeze. You'd think with all this learning I'd be doing well in school, but everything I learned to do appears to break a rule. Monsters in pajamas. Monsters in pajamas are such a sight to see. They don't look like they fit right with their bulbous hairy feet. The buttons stretch and strain, it pulls their nightshirt tight, and their fuzzy monstrous legs bulge through them in the night. The sleeves just reach their elbows, but they don't go any lower, and around their necks it seems like they're wearing tight collars. But they like to wear pajamas as they keep them nice and warm, and they are very good at sewing as they keep on getting torn.
Next, we'll have Jacob Zolke tell us in his public speaking about catching. Jacob?
Have you ever caught a 65-mile-an-hour fastball coming straight at your head? Well, I have, and trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds. Today, I'm going to tell you about the equipment, how to position yourself, and some things you need to do. First, let's gear up, and I'll tell you about the equipment you need. You need shin guards with knee savers so your knees don't hurt. After you strap those up, you slip on your chest protector. Then you put on your helmet and you're ready to go. But before you go catch, you need a special catcher's mitt called a put. Now I'm going to tell you how to position your body when you catch. You crouch down so you're lined up with home plate. You want to be far enough behind the batter so he does not hit you with his bat when he swings. Then you stick your glove out in front of you. You put your other hand in a fist and hold it against your knee. Then you slide your foot you step with when you throw in front of your other foot so you're ready to throw if you need to. Now I will tell you the things you need to do when you catch. You need to throw out runners who try to steal a base. If you drop the ball on strike 3, you need to throw it to first or tag the batter. You also need to catch pop flies behind home plate. You need to tag most runners who come home, unless it is a force out. There's many more things you must do if you're a catcher, but we just don't have the time. So that's my speech about catching.
Next, Aaron Ross is going to entertain us with his public speaking on Brittany Griner.
Hi, my name is Brittany Griner, and I'm addicted to phone cases. You may have heard this if you listened to the Baylor players introduce themselves before the Final Four game. Today, I am going to tell you about Brittany Griner. First, we will talk about her intimidating features. Then, we will move on to her accomplishments. And finally, we will go over Brittany Griner's future. So first, let's look at Brittany Griner's intimidating features. Let's start with the dreadlocks. Now, that's enough to scare anybody. Oh, and her feet. She even makes Bigfoot jealous. Now, let's move on to her accomplishments. Last year, Brittany Griner punched a Texas Tech player so hard that it broke her nose. That takes some strength, if you ask me. She also led Baylor to an NCAA Women's National Championship. Now let's move on to Brittany Griner's future. Brittany Griner has 1 year left before moving to the WNBA, or even possibly the NBA with her style of play. After that, she will move on to her street ball career, which could be in jail if she decides to punch another girl in the nose. So today, I have told you about Brittany Griner's intimidating features, her accomplishments, and her future. Next time you hear that deep voice, don't call her a dude.